Good morning. I let my children pick too many kittens to keep. Not all of these are staying. We found homes for 3 of them. But I still have too many cats. Too many. I like to feed my animals whenever I can. Raw diet. So everybody's getting a little sausage this morning. I know. Hey, don't eat the plastic. Here. Hey guys, and good morning. I'm on my way to the barn to milk. Today is one of my busy days. It's one of my main harvest days for my CSA. So I got a lot on my plate today. Since today is my busy day, I'm unashamedly giving the milk to the pig. Good morning, I brought you a treat. A lot of times, I had to get away from him so he didn't hear me. A lot of times, it's actually extra work for me to have him help me, but he's such an eager helper that I want to instill this help so that when he gets a little bit bigger, it's actually helpful. I have to remind myself of that sometimes. Don't mind me, I'm eating my free tomatoes from the volunteers. Unfortunately, I don't have time for morning coffee today because I have to go harvest. I think we're gonna have some thunderstorms later, so I gotta beat the rain. Plus, it's still cool out, so I'm gonna go work in the tunnel while it's nice and cool. This is my tomato tunnel. For reference, today is July 16th, I think. The tomatoes are taller than me. Oh, it's also the time of the year where you gotta watch for spider webs, and not just regular spider webs, because I can handle those. I'm not scared of spiders. But the big garden spider, banana spider, riding spider, whatever you call it, don't want to walk into one of those. And I'm really happy about how my tomatoes are looking right now, because this time last year, most of them already had blight and are dying. And this year, most of them look marvelous. Obviously, I have a lot of pruning to do in here, but you know what? Nothing here is pristine, and I'm not going to pretend like it is. But the plants are producing, and they're beautiful. And for the next few minutes, I'm going to be listening to an audiobook while I get to work. You're gonna notice that a lot of these tomatoes aren't 100% ripe. Even this guy. But as soon as it starts to blush, it's called the breaker stage, you can go ahead and harvest it. If you just have a home garden, you're gonna get the best flavor out of a fully vine ripened tomato, hot off the vine in the sunshine in the middle of the day with concentrated sugars. But for me, I have a whole tunnel to harvest, and so to get them before, to get them before they go bad, I've got to harvest them like this, and I can hold them in my cooler for the customers. And once they have started blushing, it's producing an enzyme that will finish ripening. This isn't like grocery store tomatoes, which are picked 100% green and then gassed with an artificial enzyme to induce ripening or coloring, because they're really bland on the inside because it hadn't developed the flavor. But by harvesting them in this phase, it's still going to develop the flavor because it naturally has the enzyme. I'm not artificially giving it its enzyme. I'm done in the tomato tunnel, and it looks suspiciously like rain over there, even though the modern technology in my pocket says it's not going to rain. But now I'm in the mainly pepper tunnel. It used to have cucumbers in it. It still has a few scragglers, but the cucumber beetles killed all my hopes and dreams and cucumbers. I've got another succession already going outside though, so it's planted. It's growing outside. So I'll probably be getting cucumbers off that just in a couple weeks, because cucumbers are pretty fast to take off. Let's harvest some peppers. Do I have a fancy side-by-side? No. Do I have a Ford Ranger? Yes. Let's see how many tries it takes to start it, shall we? Okay, I'm traipsing through. I have some late watermelons and my cucumber rows in the back, and then a very sad corn patch. My corn, I've had awful germination. I had to sow it twice, but we're going. Alright, I know that there's a million beans on these plants, and picking beans is one of my least favorite because you gotta crawl around and you gotta look for stuff. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do it now and get it over with. When I planted these beans, I had several different varieties, and I just mixed them all up into a baggie. And so I just willy-nilly planted beans. That way I have beans of every color, and they're already mixed up. So I know that the purple ones are called Celine. I like them. It's like a slender purple bean. These green ones are Provider, I believe. And I've got my favorite bean in here, Dragon Tongue. And I think that's it. And so I'm just going to get busy picking, listening to my story. My favorite bean, for one, look how beautiful. The more sunlight it gets, this one was on the bottom. It doesn't have a whole lot of streaking. The purple in it is called anthocyanin. And it comes out more when it's exposed to sunlight, so the more you know. But these are the best. If you like eating raw green beans, like I do, they're super sweet. Okay, green beans done. And note to self, why would you harvest green beans into a green bean sized hole? Note to self, don't use a basket with holes in it. Okay, beside the beans are my eggplants, and I've never really successfully grown eggplants. I mean, I have to get enough for like a couple, but I am having a great eggplant year. A big pest for eggplant is the flea beetle. I've also seen potato beetles on these this year. which is strange. I didn't know that was a thing, but it is. Because flea beetles will turn your leaves into lace. There's just a lot of holes in it. But I found if you let your plants get established with no pest pressure, this doesn't hurt them, or it hasn't so far this year. I mean, I wouldn't want them to be, you know, all holes, but it is what it is. I'm growing several different types of eggplant this year, just because I hadn't grown a whole lot, and so I wanted to try a bunch. Plus, you know, I like a variety. This massive one is a hybrid from Johnny's called Thanos, and it grows really well. The plants look exceptional, and also it's spineless. So on an eggplant, they have these like sharp, pokey things that the first time I grew eggplant, no one told me that, and I just went in willy-nilly and stabbed myself. So those are growing fantastically. I also have this. If you can't, I haven't tasted it yet, so I don't know. Eggplants are pretty bland. They don't have much flavor anyway, but I don't know if the flavor matches the beauty, but this is magical. This is listata. I got the seeds from Baker Creek. I have another variety from Baker Creek called Oswald, maybe, I don't know. It's a Middle Eastern variety, and it's supposed to get huge, so I didn't pick it just to see how big they can get. And then I have this one called Long Purple Eggplant. This would be really good for slicing up and grilling, because they're these manageable. You don't have to cut it. Like, you wouldn't want a whole slice of this. You would have to half it or whatever. So, that is my eggplant haul. I'm going to finish harvesting them now. It's a little later. I did have my coffee. I ended up having my coffee. I'm in the garage right now, hunkered down amongst garage things. And I'm gonna go ahead and weigh out my potatoes. And I don't have enough. Normally I put them in these lunch boxes, or these lunch bags, to go into the big bag, but I don't have anymore, and I'm not gonna go to the store because, you know what? I am actually not behind. It's only Wednesday. I'm not due for these until Friday. And I've got everything harvested, and I'm about to pack the bags. At least the stuff that doesn't have to be refrigerated, like potatoes. I'm gonna go ahead and weigh them out to put in my bags. I am very happy with my my potato crop this year. I mean, I don't hardly have any scab at all, which is a disease that potatoes can get. Last year, I dealt with it pretty heavy, and it was really annoying, especially on the red potatoes. Those had it more for whatever reason. But this year, even though all of these were grown from my own seed, the disease didn't transfer to this year's crop, which is good. I'm just gonna willy-nilly put them in. Honestly, I'm very happy to be working in the cold room for even just a couple minutes, because it's 57 in here and it's like 95 outside, and it feels better in here, doesn't it? I bought these cute pint boxes. You know, recyclable. It's cardboard or paper or whatever this is. It's cardboard. But the only downfall is that you have to make each box. I don't know why I didn't think about that, but good thing I really don't have very many to do this week.
Wait a tomato second.
What?
Can you save some?
Yeah, there's plenty of them. I will say that these cherry tomatoes just look so adorable in this little cute box that I overfilled and now it's not gonna shut. Ta-da! Now I just gotta do this a bunch more times. Okay, the storm clouds are rolling in, but I've finished this one box. So I'll show you what's going in my CSA box this week, which is basically everything we harvested today. I've got tomatoes of every color, of course. I've got a few different sweet peppers. My peppers are just starting to turn, which is really exciting. 2 beautiful eggplants. I've now fallen in love with baba ganoush. It's basically eggplant hummus and it's so good. I'm probably gonna make some for dinner tonight. I've got a head of garlic, also necessary for a good bowl of baba ganoush. These pint of cherry tomatoes. Green beans, this is a pound of green beans, and 2 pounds of fresh potatoes. Well, not that I'm done for the day, but I'm done for right now. So I'm gonna get off here, finish packing all the rest of the boxes. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.